Chapter 20. And the Lord spoke unto Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Assign you the cities of refuge, whereof I spoke unto you by the hand of Moses, that the manslayer that killeth any person through error and unaware may flee there, and they shall be unto you for a refuge from the avenger of blood. And he shall flee unto one of those cities, and shall stand at the entrance of the gate of the city, and declare his cause in the ears of the elders of the city, and they shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. And if the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver up the manslayer into his hand, because he smote his neighbor unaware, and hated him not beforetime. And he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment, until the death of the high priest that shall be in those days. Then may the manslayer return and come into his own city, unto his own house, unto the city from whence he fled. And they set apart Kadesh in Galilee in the hill country of Naphtali, and Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba the same as Hebron in the hill country of Judah. And beyond the Jordan, at Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness, in the tableland out of the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. These were the appointed cities for all the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them, that whosoever killeth any person through error might flee there, and not die by the hand of the avenger of the blood, until he stood before the congregation. All right, let's go back to verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Joshua, saying, verse 2, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Assign you the cities of refuge, whereof I spoke unto you by the hand of Moses. And we would find that the land has now been all divided up. Every tribe has their inheritance. And as God commanded Moses, Moses commanded Joshua, now God's reminding Joshua to set these cities up. Remember, they've already set up 3 cities on the west of the Jordan in the land of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. We're going to set up the 3 cities as well on the other side. Verse 3, that the manslayer that killeth any person through error and unaware may flee there, and they shall be unto you for a refuge from the avenger of blood. And this was the reason these 3 cities are set up, or 6 in total, 3 on this side of the east of the Jordan, 3 west of the Jordan. For if a man kills somebody on accident, as if we remember in Deuteronomy, we was even given the example of the head of the axe flying off from the handle, and an accident occurs and a man kills somebody, that he can flee to this city for safety. And he shall flee unto one of those cities, and shall stand at the entrance of the gate of the city, and declare his cause in the ears of the elders of the city. And they shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. And this is what they would do. He's killed somebody by accident, and he flees, and he comes to the gate, and he starts yelling, and the elders which are in the gate come to him, and he states his case, and they take him in and give him refuge. 5. And if the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver up the manslayer into his hand, because he smote his neighbor unaware, and hated him not beforetime. And this would be the refuge they would give him from the manslayer, who would be the next of kin to the individual who was killed accidentally. This is not murder. This is an accidental death. And the manslayer is the one who has the right to avenge the death. And this would be in case of murder. The manslayer is the one who has the right from God, was given to him by God, to avenge the death. Judgment actually is handed to him. Verse 6, and he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment, until the death of the high priest that shall be in those days. Then may the manslayer return and come into his own city, and unto his own house, unto the city from where he fled. And this is what he would do. He would go there. The elders would bring him in front of the congregation after they had completed their full investigation of the circumstances. He would be brought in front of the congregation. The elders would deliver all the evidence, and the congregation would actually decide whether he would be handed over to the manslayer, or yes, he would remain in this city and get the refuge that the city was there for. And, of course, we see there, after the death of the high priest, he would be allowed to return unto his own land, his own house even. Verse 7, and they set apart Kadesh in Galilee, in the hill country of Naphtali, and Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba, the same is Hebron in the hill country of Judah. And these would be the three cities they would set apart: Kadesh, Shechem, and Kiriath Arba, which is the city of Arba, or the city of four, and this would actually later be called Hebron. Remember, this would be part of Caleb's inheritance, and this city they set aside, for it's in the hill countries of Judah. Now, we would translate Kadesh, we will translate Shechem, and we would translate Hebron, and we would get this. This is a place prepared before time to unite. And this is what this verse would translate out. Of course, we don't translate every word there. We're just translating the three cities which they appointed. Verse 8, and beyond the Jordan at Jericho eastward, they assigned Bezer in the wilderness, in the table land, out of the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth Gilead of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. And we would remember that these were the three cities they had already set aside, that was in the land of the Amorites, the two kings of the Amorites, Og and Sihon. When they come, before they crossed the Jordan, they conquered this land, and Moses had these three cities already established. And these three cities is Bezer, or Bezer, and Ramoth, and Golan. And they would translate, and we would include Jericho because they're eastward of Jericho into that province there. And the lesser light is cut off, the corrals of captivity. We see, and this has some meaning to some people, and others it ain't going to mean nothing, and that's fine. And verse 9, these were the appointed cities for all the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them, that whosoever killeth any person through error might flee there, and not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, until he stood before the congregation. And that was the purpose of these 6 cities, that if there was an accidental death, the one who committed it would flee there and get refuge if he deserved it. And this was for all of Israel. But we notice that he has to stand before the congregation. It would be the congregation, after a full investigation, would decide if he would be punished or not, if he would be turned over to the manslayer, and this who would avenge his blood. And the reason this would be done is that all the bad and hard feelings are done and done away with. The avenger, the manslayer, has the right to avenge the blood if it is a murder. This way he has his restitution, or their restitution. All right, let's move on. We're going to move to chapter 21.